What is going on, everybody? Happy Whiplash Wednesday. This is Brandon.
Steph.
This is Ty.
Welcome back to Christ on Infinite Rants. This is the show we just talk about a random comic book conversation, something that you would probably find in your LCS that you visited today. Today, we're going to be giving our top 5 Star Wars list, our top 5 Star Wars movies list with an honorable mention. Before we get into that, I do want to thank Ty for joining us back. Thank you to Steph for reaching out to Ty and bringing him back on. We had so much fun with the Batman show. You know, we got to bring him back. So, Ty, thank you so much, brother, for being here.
Good to be back.
If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the thumbs up before coming in and watching the video. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We have had content coming out all week. We just had weekly wrap-up on Monday, followed by an interview with Steve Orlando on Tuesday. So yesterday, this was really a great time talking about his X-Men new book, Marauders. He's relaunching it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited for that book to be on the shelves. Today, we're talking about Star Wars. But real quick, what is your guys' experience with Star Wars getting into this fandom?
Start off, Ty?
All right, I'll start off. My first jump into Star Wars would have to be the prequel series. I watched it as I view it as intended, with the prequels, and then obviously the original 3, and then the Disney threequel that came out.
Gotcha. What about you, Steph?
Mine, I actually saw the originals first, but I didn't get Star Wars until the prequel saga. Like, I had seen the original, the OG3, because my cousin was a big fan. Like when 20th Century Fox had the VHSs and stuff, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was not until like the prequel saga, Phantom Menace. That was the first one I saw in theaters, or Attack of the Clones, definitely, or not Attack of the Clones, but Attack of the Clones. But I played like there's like this Phantom Menace video game for PlayStation 1 at the time that had come out. Not the best game, but I was in love with it, and that kind of like dipped me to the lore of Star Wars, and I took off from there.
For me, I definitely have to say, when I got into everything when I was like 3 years old, I guess I watched the original trilogy with my uncle and my cousin. And then we watched Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith came out when I was in kindergarten. So I got to see that in theaters, which was really special. And then, shut up. Oh my gosh. And then when I was in 2nd grade, we got the Clone Wars movie. And I remember saying, like, the Clone Wars are still a little fresh because, like, you got to see all the Jedi. And when elementary school teachers, you know how, like, they ask, like, kids, like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they give some goofy answer. I always said I wanted to be a Jedi. You know, that was just my answer. I wanted to be just like Qui-Gon Jinn, but without something through my chest, you know? I wanted to be like Anakin. I wanted to marry Natalie Portman. We're going to get into that. But I wanted Natalie Portman. So I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. But I was really attached to that. You know, grew up with the Lego games, Lego Star Wars games, building Legos. They were all Star Wars. Force Unleashed was one of my favorite games as a kid. You know, kind of expanding more into like the Jedi. You know, Ki-Adi-Mundi had a huge arc in that. So he was one of my original favorites. So that was really my introduction. It's really cool to see how like Star Wars is so generational.
Yes.
Right. And now
Absolutely.
we had my childhood, which was the Clone Wars TV series. So it's like that era of Star Wars, which now we're seeing on the big screen. To me, it's just like, it's like people seeing like the first, like seeing like these comics that they bought off the shelf now being on the big screen, right? This is like for me. So it's like, I hold that. Like, I feel like it's something that I own. So that's my experience with that. Let's get into today's, I'm sorry, Seth?
No, I was gonna say, so Ty, how were you when you say you saw the first Star Wars or Phantom Menace?
I had to be 8 or 9 years old.
Okay, and you were 3. I was about 9, 8 or 9 when I saw the OG saga, and then like a few years later, that's when Phantom Menace came out. So that's cool. Like, we've all been kind of, Brandon, you're way more of a Star Wars head though, you know, but it's cool that we're all around the same age when we saw, like, we're inducted into the world of Star Wars.
Right.
And that was in 99, right? The Phantom Menace?
Yeah, when Phantom Menace came out, I was 11 when that came out. But 8 or 9.
What was your reactions like coming out of the theaters, like seeing like your first Star Wars movie?
It was for me it was amazing because even though I didn't see the original trilogy prior to, even if you don't watch Star Wars, everyone knows who Darth Vader is. He's one of the most iconic characters in cinema, and I already knew his background, so it was good seeing how he first started from the child in the Phantom Menace, and then to the OG series where he's full blown bad.
Right.
It was just a great thing because around that time when we had, I don't know if you know too much about this, Brandon, but Kmart's for the Phantom Menace, they had toys galore stocked at the Kmart, and I remember getting the droids and the super battle droids from Attack of the Clones. It was just a wonderful thing, and at that time I was only collecting like Power Rangers figures and obviously wrestling toys and Transformers. It was a beautiful thing. And then I remember the first time going to Chuck E. Cheese around that time, I hopped on the Phantom Menace pod racing game.
Nice.
Hooked.
Nice. Oh my gosh. What about you, Steph?
What was the question? Sorry.
What was your like reactions like coming out of the theaters after
there-
your first Star Wars movie?
I was kind of, I was blown away. I was like, yo, like I get what people are talking about. Like I always kind of, like I understood my cousin's hype. Like I said, he's kind of the one who introduced me to Star Wars, but I didn't get it at the time. Once I had seen Phantom Menace, I was like, okay, I get it. Like laser swords, the cool character names, I get it.
Right. Steph, was the cousin, sorry to cut you off, Brandon, but the cousin, is that the one that collects the Star Wars comics?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Nice. I guess like for me, like after I saw the original trilogy, I was hooked. I guess like I liked the music the most when I first like saw it, because like I was a little kid, right? So like obviously like that's something that I was attracted to. Seeing like a big giant fur ball, space, right? You're just a kid, right? These are just new concepts to you. And then I saw like
C-3PO was so dope to me as a kid, even though he's
R2-D2 was a homie, man.
Yeah,
R2-D2's a homie, you know.
His look,
like, Jar Jar was funny. I don't care what
anyone says. As a little kid, like Jar Jar is so funny.
Little kid.
Yeah.
I don't get the hate for Jar Jar. My man was a trip, you know. You know, like
Thank you. I'm glad it's been said.
Yeah, right. Like I know we're gonna have hot takes here because we are in that age group for all you freaking older people. But you know what? I don't care. This is gonna be a fun show. So make sure you hit the thumbs up to hear more of our hot takes, and definitely stay because we have them. But I really when I saw 3 in theaters, man, it was dope, right? Because I loved Anakin as a kid. Anakin was like my favorite. He still is my favorite Star Wars character. I see myself in Anakin, and seeing him in the Clone Wars reassured that, right? So like I like Chewbacca. He's probably like my second favorite. Han's a favorite of mine. R2. Vader's my favorite villain of all time, just because like Anakin is my favorite character, right? So it's like I'm like, you know what, dude? I wouldn't do anything different. Like that was my reaction as like a 3-year-old. I was like, I saw a lot in Anakin, right? And just the third movie, I was just like, you know what? That hair slaying, youngling slaying mentality is something that I need. So, I mean, I really dug into Anakin's character, you know, and we kind of grew into it.
People, you know, you get a lot of people can relate because the weight of being told he's supposed to be the chosen one, you know, like just, you know, living up to other people's expectations of what you should be. I think that's like a universal theme. Right. Everyone can kind of relate to that.
I agree 100%. 100%, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I remember my brother, I have a twin brother, for those you don't know. He liked Star Wars at first, then he grew out of it, I guess. And he like started hating Star Wars like when the Clone Wars came out. I guess that was a turnoff for him. We're gonna get into that, but I know a lot of people give Hayden Christensen a lot of hate, but like y'all gonna change that narrative in the Kenobi show. Like just mark my words, y'all gonna flip that script because he wasn't terrible. He was great.
It's crazy how stuff will, in hindsight, be so golden, you know?
Right. And something that we're going to touch on is the original the prequel trilogy had a lot of hidden layers in it that were just so geniusly placed.
So underrated.
With that being said, we are going to go over our top 5 with an honorable mention. Steph, kick us off with your first honorable mention.
This might be a hot take, but I'm going to go with Han Solo.
Oh,
I think that that it didn't need. It's not a story that people were necessarily asking for at the time, because there's we've kind of seen the definitive take. It's almost like I don't want to see who Han Solo was before Han Solo. Like we love him because he's Han Solo as we know him, and that movie had a lot of production troubles. Like the directors got dropped after filming like 75% of the movie, 80% of the movie. Very worrisome. So the fact that someone came in and made something out of that, and it ended up being really enjoyable, like a really solid story, better than it deserved to be. I think that says a lot about it. And I think if Disney would have released this movie during the winter, like they do with every other Star Wars, or up to that point, they had done that with every other Star Wars movie, it would have got a better reception. Like I'll never stop saying this, but you release the one Star Wars movie that no one's been asking for, like 2 weeks after you release at that time the biggest Marvel movie, which was Infinity War. No one was gonna go see that. Everyone was seeing Infinity War. So Han Solo is actually a very good, solid movie.
Did you see it in theaters?
I did not, sadly,
Me
because
neither.
I didn't think it was going to be good. I wish I was saw it in theaters.
I waited for Disney Plus, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I loved Solo. I am an Emilia Clarke fan. I am. I loved Game of Thrones a lot. So seeing her playing Kira was a great role. And we're seeing Kira in the comics now, which is like super dope too. So it's like her story's getting expanded upon. I love seeing like the lore of the Star Wars universe and just how like interconnected the bounty hunters, like the poor is, or like you can call them the poor, and how like their struggles are. Han was dope. My only thing is like you just killed Han. So seeing anyone other than Harrison Ford playing his role was so off-putting to me. But I do agree, it is a great film.
You know what? I think he really brought I forget his name, but
he brought a good youth to the character.
Yeah, he really surprised me. Like I was kind of worried by watching the trailers, but it's like the more I watch it, the more I enjoy his take on younger Han.
Yeah, agree. What about you, Ty? What do you think of Solo?
For my honorable mention, it's funny that Steph brought Solo, because I too chose Solo, Star Wars story. Brandon, you're a huge Emilia Clarke fan. I am as well, but I'm also a huge Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino fan. And seeing him as Lando, I was sold.
Yo, he kind of killed that. He killed that.
He brought the swagger.
Yeah. Oh, to the max, bro.
Hey, you don't got to worry about that with Gambino, though.
Yeah, he's smooth operator.
And I forget the actor, but Dryden Voss.
Oh, Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany, and I've been a fan of Paul Bettany ever since A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, and obviously he's Vision in the MCU. But it had an all-star cast. I didn't know who the main actor was for Han Solo at the time. Obviously, we do now. But again, Donald Glover, Emilia Clarke,
Woody
Harrelson, and I'm glad he's made a resurgence ever since. What is that called? I
don't know the movie.
And Mockingbird and all that.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Ever since Hunger Games.
I did know that movie.
Come on, Brandon. You know some movies. But but Brandon, like you said, with the introduction of Kira, that was like a Star Wars character I didn't know that we actually needed. And seeing that cameo at the end with Ray Park reprising Darth Maul and the start of the Crimson Dawn, it was just a beautiful thing, because I'm a huge Clone Wars animated fan. I've watched probably every episode like 3 times over.
Yeah,
and
right?
It just felt like everything came full circle for that.
Right, and it's so cool seeing how that's tying in with everything. I think Star Wars is at its all-time high. Like, screw whatever's going on with the High Republic. What they're doing with Crimson Reign right now and tying everything into the original trilogy while expanding it into Mandalorian. You got aspects of the Rebels. You got aspects of Clone Wars in there. It's all coming together. And it's just like the child in me is so excited. I love it. Sorry, but
No,
I meant to say like I love it. I really do.
No, dude. Yeah.
My honorable mention is also staying in the realm of my childhood. I'm going with the Clone Wars animated movie that came out. Now, the reason why it's not any higher is because hindsight, right? Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters now. She's probably a top 5 character for me. I love her character. Like, if you're just talking about pure good, she's one of the best, right? But in this movie, I couldn't stand her. And I guess that's because, like, we're supposed to age and grow with her. Like, I think it's intentional. Now, looking back at it, I fell in love with Captain Rex. I fell in love with Anakin's leadership and just how far he's come, right? You know, he didn't really want to be a master because when he was a Padawan, no one wanted to be his master except for Qui-Gon, who died. So I still think there was, like, some remnants of that going on. However, this gave us Asajj Ventress. I know she was big in the comics. I wasn't reading the comics at that time, but we got a lot of lore there, right? We got some more stuff with Jabba the Hutt, so we were connecting those dots. We saw more of Count Dooku, and his face just reminded me of corn on the cob. So I had ribs and corn on the cob for dinner. So, I mean, it was great. You know, there was a lot. It was more of an introduction to years of childhood memories of just going Friday nights, 7:30, 8 o'clock, right after Ben 10. Y'all know what's up, you know. But it was dope, man. You know, I have so many fond memories of that show. So it's like I can't not put this as an honorable mention as a Star Wars movie. It just kickstarted everything that I love. So I'm putting it there.
No, I dig the choice. I agree with you.
Yeah. Steph, what's your 5? What's your number 5?
Number 5 is Phantom Menace. I actually I know that movie gets a lot of hate, but I think there's just it's a charming movie, to be honest. There's a lot of great bits, a lot of underrated themes. Maybe some things were a mishap, like the midichlorians and stuff like that. You know, like, you know, the Force is always supposed to be like some mysterious thing. You know, we don't need like a scientific explanation for certain things, but what, you know, it's sci-fi science. So what science? Someone call it, like, I think of it more like science fantasy. Star Trek's more sci-fi, and you know, tech. But I think it's a very fun movie. We gave us Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Come on now, we got Qui-Gon, the master of everything. He went on to go and teach Batman how to become Batman and stuff. Like, he's got a particular set of skills type of stuff.
That.
You know? Yeah. But it's Natalie Portman.
Oh,
Enough said.
Yeah, Natalie Portman.
I don't know if we've had better Star Wars battle besides the end of Phantom Menace, to be honest. I mean, live action.
Are you talking about the Gungan battle with the droids? Because that was dope too. They kicked their ass.
They had some amazing fights. But in terms of like very just sick Star Wars battles,
the space battle was so dope.
Ray Park with the double-bladed lightsaber alone almost makes up for it. Like,
do the fates.
Yeah. Jar Jar isn't that bad. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Phantom Menace as my number 5.
There you go.
Solid pick. Listen, guys, to everyone that's watching this, and even Brandon, I promise you, Steph and I did not go over what our top 5 honorable mention was going to be, because my number 5 is the Phantom Menace as well, and it was hard for me. It was hard for me to choose it.
I hate you all.
to choose it at number 5, because I grew up loving the Phantom Menace 100%, especially like Steph said, with the inclusion of characters like Qui-Gon and also Darth Maul with Ray Park. To this day, besides the hallway scene with Darth Vader in Rogue One, just seeing Darth Maul take off that robe and have his lightsaber out and then pop the second one with that grin, I mean,
iconic, bro.
That was an out-of-body experience. I remember just yelling at the TV, like, yeah. And the pod racing.
Yes.
The pod racing, to me, a lot of Star Wars fans, older, did not like the pod racing scenes, but I absolutely loved it. That's why going to Chuck E. Cheese around that time, and it was like the first time I ever went to Chuck E. Cheese, I just stayed on that damn machine the entire time. 100%. As an adult, making adult-like decisions, if I ever find that at a reasonable price near me, I will be picking that up, and it will be inside of my house. I know my wife is going to be watching this. She's going to be pissed off, but it is what it is.
You know what? I said I hated you guys because it's my number 5 too.
Yeah.
Station!
It's
Yo, I mean, you guys took the words right out of my mouth. I think an underlying factor of this movie is the fact that this is where Palpatine is putting his pieces. My man was the master manipulator from the get-go. Like, you knew this motherfucker was bad, right?
So I was not checkers.
Like, yeah, you know, he's moving his pieces. He's lying. He called an invasion on his own planet, framed Newt Gunray for the Trade Federation. So the Senate really couldn't. Their hands were tied, right? Like, he made the Jedi be painted as the villain, which kickstarted, right, Dooku to leave a lot, you know, and everything, right? He did all of this. He did all of this so methodically. His character alone in there was so good, you know.
Yeah.
Even the way he just looked at Anakin, right? Whoever played him, fantastic performance.
Yeah.
Jar Jar was good comedic relief. The space battle we mentioned was great.
Yeah.
I even really admired the trip to Tatooine. You know, I think that was an underrated aspect. You know, with the pod race we mentioned, but even like just the dialogue between Anakin and his mother was really, really powerful, man. Like, Shmi had a big influence. Man, it was so good. It was so good.
Underrated.
I love it. It's so underrated. Duel of Fates capped it off. Are you 3 battles going on at once? And then Natalie Portman, who is, if me and Emma Watson and me and Polaris don't work out, I think Emma Watson or not Emma Watson. I think Natalie Portman's a good third option to have.
I think she's a good first option.
She's a great, yeah. But come on, you know me, Steph. She's ready for me. But man, I loved it. I love Phantom Menace. So we all got to the same number 5. I hope we don't have the same number 4.
How did we forget about the introduction of Mace Windu in the Phantom Menace as well?
I was just sitting here thinking, was he in Phantom Menace or was it Attack of the Clones? But it was Phantom Menace on the council, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Mace Windu, the baddest mofo around in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. What's your number 4, Steph?
My number 4 is the one that started it off, A New Hope. You couldn't have Star Wars without it. There's still some, you know, you got a great performance. I can't remember his name. I feel Sir Alec, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Fantastic actor. In hindsight, he really didn't have too much screen time, but the fact he's so memorable, iconic, I think is a testament to how well what he brought to life out of Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, just there's so many iconic moments that we wouldn't have any of this without this movie. It's not the best. There's not too much action, to be honest, but there you just kind of set the foundation for a lot
more story driven.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher had a good role, you know.
I mean, everyone had a great role. Luke, Han, like it started some great characters with some great relationships, and you know, but there's better movies out there, but it is the foundation that started it all. So that's gonna be,
you know, and if we learned one thing, you know, it's just let the Wookiee win.
Yep, it started a beautiful friendship.
What about you, Ty? What you got for us?
All right, number 4. Here's where we get the deviation. For number 4, I chose The Clone Wars, the animated movie. And when that movie came out, it actually had some very stiff competition. It came out around the same time that High School Musical 3 came out, and we know how big that fandom was at that particular time.
And it came out a month after The Dark Knight.
Yes.
We're still probably seeing
stiff competition, and not many people know this. Obviously, you guys know this because you guys are Star Wars heads like I am. But the Clone Wars movie and the show was like George Lucas's love letter to all of the fans. He put most of the money himself. He said that he put at least, depending on how the CGI and the action was for the animated show, about 1.5 million per episode, and we know how many episodes are in that series. And again, this movie started it all. We got Ahsoka, as you guys already mentioned, aka Snips, and great character development with her because she was a little a-hole. You know, she was rough around the edges, but at the same token, to me she was like the female version of how Anakin was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the
in
way
the
that she
very
was
beginning.
molded throughout years of stories is so good. You know,
Commander Rex, Commander Cody, those are some troopers that you fall in love with from the
as
very beginning.
individuals.
And then seeing Asajj Ventress, which we haven't seen her since, and again, I'm dating myself again, but Steph, remember the Cartoon Network Clone Wars snippets that they
I
had?
was just telling Brando, yeah.
No, don't you best believe I've watched that.
No, but the difference is between, I think the 3D is the Clone Wars and the cartoon is just Clone Wars.
Yes,
I think that okay.
And it was made by Gendy Teriyaki at the time, who was big with the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory. And you know, that's how I got introduced to Dirge the Bounty Hunter. Him on his little speeder bike with his Lancer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Shout out. And Mace Windu was the voice of or Samuel Jackson was the voice of Mace Windu in the movie. So that was always a plus.
Yep. Man, that Clone Wars movie is great. There are some gaping holes in the storytelling. There are a lot of gaping holes in that movie, which is like I could have done without. Like I think Zero the Hutt was just weird, but
people like the imagery of Hutt, so they were trying to fit something in there along with that.
I like mine more tan. I don't know if that's like Hutt racism, but I like my Hutt's tan.
Out in the sun, out on Tatooine a little bit longer.
Don't cancel me, Jabba. Yo, I gotta give my number 4 to Return of the Jedi. I gotta give it to Return of the Jedi. I love space battles. I thought that was one of the better space battles, right? You got so much. I liked Admiral Akbar, because I remember doing like a lot of the sticker books as like a kid, like before I saw this movie, and I think that like all the ships that we saw in Return of the Jedi, like I had like stickers of as a kid, so like I just love like the designs of everything, and like each ship was like a different piece to the puzzle. So like Return of the Jedi had a big strength there. I loved I loved Endor. I fell in love with that planet. I was like, this
space teddy bears, bro.
Space teddy bears. What's not to love, you know?
Come
on. Wicked was like a homie. He was with Carrie Fish. He was with Leia.
And they didn't want to say it, but they ate people.
They did. You know, they burned them alive. I mean, I really like that movie. You got to see a lot more with Luke. You got to see Luke kind of taking the final steps into becoming a true Jedi, addressing his father. There are so many good plot moments. The trio, right? You know, Green lightsaber. This was one of the first times, other than like Luke going to Dagobah, but the team was really separated for a good part of that movie. You know, which it was unique because they also got to grow as individuals when Leia got captured by the Ewoks and went with the Ewoks when Han was trying to find her and figure out how to move everything forward. And then Luke was finishing his, you know, he was there, but he was also like not at the same time. Yeah. Right. He was physically there, but his headspace was with Vader.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say he was. Yeah.
His mind was in a whole new world, like that, like Aladdin, man. I mean, but dude, I love that movie. I love it, and I love we got to see more bounty hunters. So like that's always welcome. Tatooine is where everything started. So I'm glad they started off the last movie with Tatooine. So I love it, man. That's number 4 for me. Can't front. I love it.
Yeah,
that's a solid choice.
Like I said, there's so many. Like you said, there's so many things going on that we did. Green lightsaber. I'm just saying, like that's an iconic thing that up to that point, I forget the reason why, but initially George Lucas was only going to go with like red and blue, you know, and for whatever reason.
Well, supposedly, you're right. You're 100% right, stuff, because supposedly George was having trouble with the whole CGI mechanics of getting that green lightsaber out. So that's why they originally went with blue, because they were going to go with green, but
Right.
it didn't work. It didn't work on the screen for them. They didn't have the technology at that particular time.
Wow. Okay. See, but that's so iconic. Luke's, the black ensemble, bro,
Yes.
with the black glove, like that. That's who I. Even though, I know it's the old Luke from New Hope. A lot of people see him. When I think of like Luke Skywalker, I think of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point. That's a great point. I love that movie, man. There's just so much to love about it. Everything just kind of coming to a head.
Yeah.
You get the redemption story for Vader, which is a big strike of the movie.
Big moment, man.
That was one of the biggest moments, arguably in film at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I can't say enough about that movie.
Yeah.
But let's move on to number 3. What you got for us, Big Steph?
These last 3 were kind of the number 1 wasn't hard, but the last 2 were kind of hard for me. I'd say they're both. No, not the last 2 are the most bleak, but this one was pretty bleak in its own right. I'm gonna go with Rogue One. I think that's just like a really perfect Star Wars movie. Like, their backs are against the wall. That was kind of always like the struggle for the rebels, and you get this ragtag group of people who shouldn't work together, but they do, and they almost become like this little family in such a short amount of time. And just great banter.
Who played Jyn Erso? She did really well.
Felicity Jones.
Thank you.
Felicity Jones. She was fantastic. Alan Tudyk as K2. The droid.
K2 was dope.
Beautiful. You had Donnie Yen. The blind monk, bro. Come on. The Force monk, even though they didn't come out and say it, he was a Force monk. He was Force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, not bleak movies, but I really like when like there's no hope. They really was the no.
And
no
Bishop
hope.
was in the movie too with a cable gun.
Bishop.
A Bishop. He looked like Bishop with a cable gun.
But you have Forrest Whitaker. But they had, it was a suicide mission, and the odds were against them. I love when the odds are stacked against people and they still get it done. Come on, let's not even forget about this scene where it was like put together so last minute, and it's become one of the more iconic scenes of Star Wars lore. Vader, when they're running down the hallway. Oh my God. That's the movie Star Wars fans deserve. Like,
we need that in Kenobi. We need that in Kenobi.
I love watching that scene. I'll go back and just watch that scene over and over just because it was executed so well. Like, it was like a horror scene in a Star Wars movie. It's a dark hallway. You just start hearing this breathing. You already know once you hear the breathing. You see the damn lightsaber come on?
You're like, oh shit.
It's game time.
Dog. One of the best scenes in Star Wars ever.
Station bitches. That's what Darth Vader said. He said, station bitches.
If people don't like anything else about that movie, they'll like that scene.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So that was the number 3.
Oh man. I hate you, Steph, because that's my number 3 too, but I'll get into my thoughts later. Ty, what about you?
Surprising. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story is my number 3 as well.
You got great taste, gentlemen.
Yeah, we do.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Literally. There's so much I can say about that movie, and Steph, he definitely hit it on the nail. And another fun factoid: the fact that the people who were behind that hallway scene is the same group of people who were involved in the Batman scene, where Batman is in the hallway.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my! Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen this, but during that hallway Batman scene, I could have sworn they were playing something similar to Star Wars music.
You said that when we were doing our spoiler review.
Did I? Okay.
You did that when we were doing our spoiler review.
We're getting old.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm getting old. Is that a good
You
thing?
called it, and you
Oh,
didn't even
no.
know you called it.
Oh.
You are one.
Donnie Yen as a Force monk was perfect.
Yes.
Because one of my first movies experiences with Donnie Yen was actually Blade 2, when he was part of the Blood Pack that was in charge of basically taking out Blade, but obviously Blade had to group up with them to get the other super vampires. I call them. Felicity Jones did one hell of a job as Jyn Erso.
Way better than Ray. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Daisy
sucked.
Ridley. Yeah,
Yes.
Jyn Erso was a badass without trying to be a badass.
Yeah.
And the fact that at the end of the movie, she just basically pulled up a chair and said, "You know what? This is it." And
Yeah.
we did what we had to do.
Right.
They got the plans off to the rebels. We're good to go. And the fact that we're still waiting for a series for Cassian Andor is questionable, because my personal opinion, that was probably the best Star Wars film Disney has produced since
Leave
taking
it there.
I'll say
the rights of Lucasfilm.
I'll stand by this. I think that the one-offs, the like Solo and Rogue One, were better than the actual sagas themselves that Disney made.
Yes.
I'll stand by that.
I will flex that up. If anyone thinks otherwise, unsubscribe and go away. You're not no.
No, don't do that. No.
Actually, you can stay here. Just agree with us and change your mind
Yeah.
and learn and grow and.
But were you gonna say anything else?
That movie was just not supposed to work, and the fact that they basically had the band of misfit toys go and basically go up against the Empire. It was literally David and Goliath.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Story of David and Goliath. Yes.
Yes. Yo. That is my number 3 as well. Yo, I love how we didn't even freaking play. Wow.
Brandon, Steph, tell them the truth. We planned this from the very beginning.
You know what? It's just
we made a point.
It's just
no, guys. We made a point not to tell each other backstage.
Yeah,
so
I was like, yo, don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me nothing. And so this is my number 3. I love. We already said like the performance of the show. Fortune's Vader on Mustafar. I was like, that's so dope.
Yeah.
And then we saw that in the comics, but we saw the reason behind it. He built it using a Sith holocron in the eyes and in a relic, a Sith holocron and a relic of a long lost Sith Lord, right? So I thought that was really. Check out the Charles Soule and Giuseppe Camicoli run. It's really dope. That's also where you get a lot of the Inquisitor crossovers. So if you want to get prepped for the Kenobi show, that's the one. But I absolutely love this movie. I love how like they tied in the little hammerhead at the end. Although the CGI of Carrie Fisher it could have been better. But I let that slide. The hallway scene was dope. Even just some of like the lines, like Vader didn't have like that big of a screen presence, which I think was so thoughtful to the story. Because when he came in, he was powerful, right? But this was the first time we ever saw the Empire as something to fear.
Yeah.
Did we ever I'm sorry, we grew up with these guys just literally target point blank and missing, right? That's like Wild Thing from Major League, if you guys know the movie.
Charlie Sheen. Wasn't he Wild Thing in?
I don't know actors' names. Come on, you know this.
Tiger Blood.
Was that the one with what is it, Denise Richards?
I just said I don't know actors' names.
The baseball movie.
The Cleveland Indians.
I'm pretty sure Charlie Sheen was Wild Thing.
He
was the pitcher with the glasses.
Yeah. It's like the one guy with the glasses. Yeah, that's him. But yeah, dude, this movie was so great. I absolutely love it. And yeah, Seth, I'll definitely agree with you. Solo and Rogue One are the best new Star Wars movies we've gotten.
Best Disney produced Star Wars.
Disney produced Star Wars movies.
Easily.
And it's hands down. The acting was so much better. The screenplay was so much better. The way the movie was shot. I don't care about all the cool effects that they had in the new trilogy. It was a shitty story. Enough said.
I can't argue. Yeah, that enough said.
Enough said. It's a shitty story. You can do all the like glints of the glam you want, but Star Wars has always had that like classic feeling, right? And that just felt foreign. That felt so foreign. It felt like
Yeah.
Cassandra Nova coming in like Professor X's mind. I was like, we're not doing this. Get her out.
I'm not gonna lie. In what was it? Rise of the Skywalker. Towards the end, when Ben Solo got
Kissed Rey.
the force teleportation saber, I was just like, what am I watching right now, man? Like
This isn't Star Wars.
a part of me liked it, but at the same time, I was just like, what just happened? Like what?
Dude, I remember sitting in the theater, like we were there opening night, and as soon as we saw like the force healing and then the kiss at the end, we're just all like, this is a reaction. The whole row, I kid you, I were like this.
Yeah.
Literally, like that. It was like, what? And then we're all just like, what? What are you doing, bro?
It's a shame.
I've never seen so many trolls, Star Wars fans disappointed. Like they weren't even like disappointed, like in the fact that we're sad. And we're like, what the fuck did we just do?
It was literally just a candlelight just going out, because at that was probably the lowest of the low in a while that Star Wars fans like had, like, because we all thought we're not getting another Star Wars project now for goddamn 10, 15 more years.
Yeah, right. You know, and I'm Jewish. Usually the candle does not burn out on my people. This time it did, unfortunately.
A whimper. That was such a I'm glad that they were able to, the gods that they are, the blessings that they are, and Filoni and Favreau were able to rejuvenate some life blood into the Star Wars franchise, and now we're back on track again. But yeah,
because you can tell that they were actual fans as opposed to other people,
right? And they're taking stuff from what they already had. They're not creating new shit. They're taking from what they had and expanding. That's always been Star Wars. Always.
Yeah.
That's Star Wars.
I mean, you can add new stuff, but
it has to be meaningful.
They were just they were just creating stuff to create stuff. You know, like there's no plan for a lot of these new things.
Oh my gosh, here's our Star Wars,
Bliss,
everybody. We have Rey in here. Oh my gosh. No, who cares? She's
what was her name? Zora Bliss?
Zora Bliss.
Okay.
The one with the helmet?
She looked like she could have been cool. Her name sounds cool. What did they do with her? Nothing.
Nope. Was that the bounty hunter that Poe was in a relationship with? Yeah. Poe was the only good thing that came out of that movie. I'm not going to lie.
And they didn't do anything with him?
Yeah, he wanted more.
And Finn was dope too. Finn was dope.
He was dope in the first movie, but the second and third movie, he
turned into a Sith.
It turned into the Rey show. I mean, and he was always, and the way they executed the whole was Finn in love or not. He obviously wasn't, but they kind of toyed with the idea of Finn and Rey, and then it turned out they were just friends, and it was.
Here comes Kylo Ren.
Here comes the handsome man.
More.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Anyway,
the Knights of Ren.
I'm sorry.
We're up here. Sorry, I was gonna say we were ragging on this movie. We're not trying to turn this into that, but there's so many wrong things with that. Like the Knights of Ren sound cool. We didn't learn anything. I mean, it sounds like they're expanding now.
Faltered on them, just like the Praetorian Guard in the second movie.
Yeah.
Waste of space. Snoke, come on, man.
Terrible. Oh, I feel it. I feel it. Ah, shit. I'm cutting half. See, guys. Oh, Andy Serkis is just contracted for 2 other movies. He has no more time. Let's just. Oh, why? Terrible.
So many fan theories down the drain.
Right? For nothing. The fan theories would have made it so much better.
Right? The fan theories, I'm like, these actually have something not. Oh, I can feel it. Shit. It's like Patrick Star getting cut in half, or like that. You know? No, later. No. Anyway, Steph, what's your number 2? Make me happy. Actually, make Ty happy. We want him to come back.
So the last 2 I consider like the most bleak of. I don't even count the Disney saga. So the prequel and the OG saga, I consider these 2 the most bleak of their respective sagas. The movies that kind of left you feeling like just. Oh damn! Sad. You know, like how are they gonna bounce back from this? Like, you know, even though we know they would, but it was just like it left your mind racing. So that being said, my number 2 is going to be Revenge of the Sith. This movie, even though a lot of them you can't. I remember turning 17 and seeing this in theaters by myself. Like this was one of the first movies I like saw by myself. And Man, it was. I saw it twice, but you know, I felt compelled to see it by myself, like just to absorb it. And it was. I feel like you didn't need to see the other Star Wars movies almost to understand
Yep, the contents
Star
of
Wars.
it.
Like it stood on its own almost.
Yeah.
It was definitely darker than the previous two.
Ty, is this your favorite too? Second favorite?
No comment.
We'll save it.
Damn
We'll save
it!
it. But there's just a lot of beautiful moments in this movie between the dissolution of the friendship of Obi-Wan and Anakin, who we watched them. You know, they truly did feel like a brothers.
You
know,
are brother to me.
You are the chosen one, Anakin.
You are my brother, Anakin.
I have the high ground.
Master Skywalker. There's too many of them. What are we going to do?
Oh my gosh.
That was a good accent, though.
That was a great scene.
That was the last time. You know why Grogu chose to go with the Mandalorian? It's because the last time everyone said, "Oh, Master Skywalker," they just did not pass the vibe check.
You know, that'd be funny if they showed that Grogu was actually on, what was that, course? That wasn't Coruscant, was it? Or was that
Coruscant or Dagobah?
Yeah. When he was at the Jedi Temple during Order 66. Yeah.
That's Coruscant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now, what if they revealed that Grogu was actually there at a different part of the temple when that was going down? Like, so what if he did see Anakin, you know, massacre
all the Padawans? And
or maybe he just saw Bail Organa running away.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be a cool reveal. But
they should have added a scene like that to the Book of Boba.
It's not too late.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Book of Mando.
Let's be honest, that's what it was. But yeah, this movie just so epic, and we knew it was coming. But when the stuff actually, because you know we know it was all leading into New Hope, but to see it actually play out just was like gut punching. You know,
it was.
People
it
make
was still
fun
exhilarating.
But it's still exhilarating. People make fun of like Anakin Padme's relationship sometimes, but you know, you really did hurt to see. Like Anakin couldn't have anything, bro. Anakin wasn't meant to be happy, and that just kind of sucked because he wanted to do the right thing. You know, that's all he wanted in his heart was to do the right thing and protect the people he loved. Sounds like an admirable quality, you know. And it's like he got punished. I mean, he got tempted, but it's like, you know, his goals were pure, and he didn't get rewarded for that. Like like I said earlier, he had all this expectation placed upon him that he didn't ask for. You know, he just wanted to take care of the people he loved, and just got the shit end of the stick. So it was like a very bleak. It was super bleak, and I love that montage of Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many.
It was a sad moment, and then reliving that in the Clone Wars show was even a sadder moment because you fell in love with certain clone members.
Jedi, yes.
Oh my God! Seeing Jesse turn, I was like, "What? No, not Jesse." I love Jesse.
But no, I just want to say Mace Windu. We got to see how we established that he was probably the baddest Jedi around. Let's be honest, he would have given it to Palpatine had Anakin not stepped in. He would have saved the day had Anakin not been tempted, bro. So let's not forget that. When people say they don't think he can be alive, the man was almost alive. Palpatine's a beast, bro. He was almost able to take down Palpatine. If you don't think he has enough willpower, Jedi like connection to the Force to have withstood that fall. I always think of, you guys seen The Fifth Element? Remember Lilu fell into the cab?
Yeah.
There was flying cars. He could have easily bounced off a car and fell into a flying car. Like many things.
Someone needs to add that scene from The Fifth Element onto Revenge of the Sith.
When he gets shot out the window.
Yeah.
That would be so dope. Someone do it, please. Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 2. I love it.
Agreed, man. That's my number 2 too.
Shocker, that is my number 2 as well. Revenge of the Sith.
God no!
Yeah, let's call it early, guys, because I already know what number 1 is. But go on.
Empires.
I'm not saying anything.
All right.
But go on, Knight. Why'd you love Revenge of the Sith?
It was just, it was dark, and we all knew that Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, we all knew what it was leading to, and it's funny that you said that was one of the first movies, probably the first movie you've seen by yourself in theaters, because it was totally opposite for me. That was actually the last movie I seen in theaters with my friends from 8th grade, the last movie. And I came in there with a red lightsaber and voice changing Darth Vader helmet with the pack
Nice.
and everything.
Yeah.
And you know, basically piggybacking off of what you said with Mace Windu, there's a lot of theories. Oh, well, Palpatine was just trying to coerce Anakin into thinking that Mace was trying to kill him and he was powering himself down. No, Mace Windu has the ability for Vapad, so he can use Sith's dark energy against him. Mace was on Palpatine's ass 100%. And if
100%.
100%,
Absolutely.
if Anakin wasn't
Absolutely.
there, that was going to be Palpatine's ass. And it was so sad seeing damn, I can't think of his name. I think it starts with a K. The Jedi.
Fist?
Kiadi Mooney.
Yes.
Okay. Oh,
No. Kitso Fist
okay.
or
Oh,
Kitso, whatever.
Kit Fisto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
Dude,
he went down hard, bro.
He went, yeah. It was such a sad moment to see. The movie was very dark, and I actually made my wife watch the Star Wars films 1 through 6 in order. So
Nice.
she's never been a big movie fan of in terms of like nerd or geek culture. So she's heard of Star Wars just like everyone has, but she never had watched the films. So I remember sitting her down. We watched episode 1, episode 2. Oh, Anakin, yeah, man, this dude is cool. And then just seeing the whole situation with Obi-Wan. I was looking at her the entire time. She looked at me and she said, "Baby, you better not tell me that Anakin becomes Darth Vader, because if he does, I'm not watching anymore. I'm not watching episode 4, 5, or 6 or episode 7, which was getting ready to come out. She was done. But of course, I got her to watch it.
No, maybe not. Maybe it was like his twin brother. His name was like Shenanigan Skywalker.
Yeah, that was Annie. It wasn't Anakin.
Right? Yeah.
That, and seeing Yoda, my man Yoda was jumping around. He was like one of those, those little dogs, because those little dogs are way more dangerous than the big ass dogs, because little dogs think that like they're like baby dragons. Yoda was jumping around everywhere. Palpatine jumping around everywhere.
I was gonna say he's like a little Spud Webb, or like a
Is that a basketball reference?
Yeah, Spud Webb is like the shortest guy to ever win a dunk contest. He's like what?
Okay,
5'7"?
I got it, guys. Sports. No. But yeah, I couldn't agree more, bro. Like,
bro, Revenge of the Sith, man. We start off with a space battle. I love it. Which was pretty dope. You get to see the closure to General Grievous, right? Which was fantastic. We got more of that in the Clone Wars, of course. All of this played out in the Clone Wars. Seeing Palpatine's plan to get Anakin is like you're seeing everything mold within the first 2. This is the final blow. Excuse me.
Count Dooku.
Well,
Annie did the Count Dooku right at the very beginning.
Right, like which just from the get-go, you knew, right? This was gonna be a dark movie.
Yeah.
Palpatine was like that bad friend who you think is a good friend, but they keep screwing you over, and then at the very end, you're looking at them like, "Can you help me?" And they're looking at you
whoa, I didn't do anything.
No, I wasn't around.
Yeah, I mean, it was, dude. There's just so much love. Seeing the other Jedi die. I mean, I love Stacey Tin. I see Stacey Tin's one of my favorite Jedi because I love space battles. I think you guys have gotten that, and especially like seeing him as a pilot who is on par with Anakin, and that's just like a good little expanded mythos fact. Kit Fisto was great. I love his character. I wish we would have gotten to see how Shakti died, because there's the deleted scene that she got stabbed by Grievous, which I loved that deleted scene. I was like, that would have been dope. Like taking not 1 but 2 hostages. That's sick. We got to see. We didn't get to see Quinlan Voss escape, but like that's a cool little like tidbit, seeing like who survived the purge. I think the fact that story, that question mark of who survived, who died, is still a lingering aspect in Star Wars, speaks alone to how significant this film is. The battle on Mustafar, just the significance of this movie and how it changed the Star Wars universe, the darkness that grew from it.
Absolutely.
100%. I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I can't speak enough about it. I think we all know what our number 1s are, and it's definitely The Last Jedi, right? Last Jedi? Last Jedi.
I was gonna go with Rise of the Jedi or Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi. Yeah, Last
Yeah.
Jedi. Right, Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
100%.
Just kidding. Empire.
It's
Let's be
Empire.
honest.
Wait, Ty, it's
This
Empire,
is
right?
when you think, yeah, it's Empire.
I can't believe.
Ooh, this
Let's say-
this is where everyone's gonna go in the comments and they're gonna battle me.
Yo,
I'm going for a controversial pick because if you notice from my top 5 and my number 6, I didn't choose any of the original trilogy.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this one. I'm gonna go with Empire. I think this is when I think of Star Wars and just iconic moments. Like I said, I think this is the most bleak out of the OG saga, where you just kind of like, oh shit, like
Ty's making me nervous.
things right. Yeah, me too. I'm curious, very more curious. But just it set up a lot of like what is it, Hondor? And not the Hoth. I don't know. I
Hoth.
said Hondor. Hoth.
Hoth.
The ice planet.
Yes. Like, come on now. The 4-leg. What are the ATs or whatever?
AT, the AT-ATs.
The AT-ATs.
Yeah. Come on. Just so many iconic creatures and just moments and just it kind of like.
Oh yeah, like the Wampa.
Love the Wampa. I've got actually a story that I would love to pitch to Star Wars. Hopefully no one can steal it, but copyright claim, whatever. It's going to be a horror movie set within the Star Wars universe, right? You know how they had to go and find Hoth and scout it out initially, right? Some rebels, right? I want to do like a Star Wars movie where like some rebels go, they're setting up location, like, yeah, we found a perfect planet for the rebel base, and they're being stalked by Wampas.
That's a great pitch right there. And since this is going to be dated, so if anyone takes it afterwards, they can just refer to your video.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this is the first. This is the first time people steal what we say and repeat it.
This is true. But
Yeah,
I just
talking
if
about
there's any
y'all
money
nosebleeds.
involved.
even pictures.
Yeah,
Hawkeye series.
Yeah, y'all nose is dripping. No, that nose is dripping, man. Woo! You got a tissue.
But yeah, this is when I think of Star Wars, this is what I think of represents Star Wars the most. Kind of a lot of character moments or attitudes are from this movie, and the relationships, the iconic relationships in this movie. Boba Fett.
Boba.
Yep.
I'm just, Boba Fett.
Leave it there, Boba Fett. And you also got to see like Boss, Dengar, Forlom, and Zukas, so like that's also an added bonus.
Yeah. I'm just.
I love Dengar. Dengar's my homie. I don't care.
I love you. I know.
I love you. I know. Yeah. Never tell me the odds, bro. You okay? So on my car, right? My car is decorated to the Millennium Falcon, right? I have this Han Solo Sabacc dice kind of on the mirror. I have a car sticker that says "Never tell me the odds." Come on, like.
I'm just saying, there's so many great moments. It's what Star Wars represents to me, Empire. Yep. So that's my number 2.
You mean your number 1?
Yeah, my number 1. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of it. It's the second movie, but yes, that's my number 1. Ty, I'm very curious what your.
Do I have to mute you? Let me. Do we need like a parental advisory? Like anyone standing in the vicinity, they might throw something.
I'm nervous.
Controversial pick for number 1. Attack of the Clones. And I'm gonna tell you why Attack of the Clones. A lot of people bash the prequel trilogy, but Attack of the Clones, in my personal opinion, even if everyone goes back and watch all the Star Wars films, it had the most lightsaber action than any other film. And for you guys say Boba Fett, we got Jango Fett. And who killed Jango Fett at the Coliseum? Mace Windu. Yeah. Mace Windu whipped out the purple lightsaber. And the fact that Samuel L. Jackson had a conversation with George, and George was like, listen, man, I want you, in the prequel series. And Samuel L. was like, yeah, I'll do it, but you got to give me a purple lightsaber. Done. And the fact that later on, George and the gang had incorporated the purple lightsaber for official lore for blue and red, so he was mixed with the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force. And for hardcore fans, not many people know this, but Mace Windu and Anakin were in the same situation because the Jedi Council did not want to train Mace Windu. And how he got trained? Yoda trained him, the Grand Master. That's why I think, obviously Obi-Wan was a good pick for Anakin for the first movie and the second movie because it was not Quinlan Bosses, but Qui-Gon Jinn's Padawan. And obviously it was Qui-Gon's dying wish. But Yoda or Mace Windu would have been a better pick for the trainer for Anakin. But I digress. And the fact that we actually got to go to the planet and see how all the clones came to be, and we got a fight between Jango and Obi-Wan. Just the fighting for Attack of the Clones, because again, even to this day, Star Wars has been going on since 1977, and we just keep seeing more battles only in that film. And then the fact that they had to escape the Coliseum, Natalie Portman, Padme, when she was stuck
aggressive
on
negotiations. I love Attack of the Clones. For a while, it was my favorite. Now it's like over time, I like kind of see the flaws in that movie a little bit more. I agree with the lightsabers. I agree with the Jedi because you see them all. You see Luminara.
You see them go to work. We
right,
see why a handful of people are basically feared and respected throughout the galaxy.
Right. I respect it. I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I overreacted a little bit. I need you to read this comic book. So I need you to read this comic book, Ty. It is
Oh god.
It's a one shot. It's about Mace Windu and how he created the forms for his fighting, right? His fighting forms, his style. He did it with Sora Bulk. Steph, I sent it your way, on Unlimited.
Wasn't it Form 11 or something?
I forget it was called Tempo or something I think it was something with an O.
Hold on. Oh god.
Sorry, Steph, go for it.
No, I just, you don't like any of the original OGs?
No, I do like the originals. However, the prequel series, it just hit harder for me, and obviously Rogue One. And if I chose Clone Wars in my top 5, I had to put Attack of the Clones, because Attack of the Clones and Clone Wars go hand in hand, and the show and the movies, it just coincided perfectly. Because again, if I wanted to, I could have chose the Clone Wars animated, because again, I think that animated show and movie is probably, if you are a Star Wars fan, you probably like that the most, because a movie is what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but that whole
series is endless.
Yeah, you can watch that nonstop for weeks.
Right. Yeah. I think if we chose just like out of all like it live or all like Star Wars on TV, that could be the TV show's movie, I would put the Clone Wars animated series. I would do it. Right? 100%. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I am going Empires. I love Attack of the Clones, but I'm going Empires. Kind of like what Steph said, back against the walls. Sith, the memorable lines in there are just so fitting. And as someone, I've lived my life with like people always like passing judgment on me, right? So I felt like Anakin, and throughout Anakin's story, the motto "never tell me the odds" really spoke. And even though that's a Han Solo line, I think that speaks to Anakin's story as well. When I heard Han say they're going through the asteroid field, I'm like, you know what? Like, that's literally how I live my life. Is don't tell me the odds, because you're gonna tell me I can't do something. You're gonna pass judgment on me, say like, okay, you're never gonna be able to do this. But in life, I feel like I've already accomplished more for myself than a lot of other people have for themselves. And for someone my age, right?
Yeah.
It's really just about how determined you are, right? The plot twist of Darth Vader being his father was, you can watch it so many times, but Luke's reaction. Mark Hamill just made that
No.
scene. That's impossible. Meanwhile, motherfucker had no hand, man. Like now he's like, I'm sorry, but I really liked it. I love the introduction of Lando and like the history between him and the Millennium Falcon got teased. That was also really dope, man.
We
Luke's
got Sky
training.
City.
This is also the first time we got to really understand the concept of the Force, other than like what Ben Kenobi said. Like we had like a little bit of a dry feeling, but this is where we went, and like this is really you got to see the dark and the light working hand in hand, you know. And I just think like the lore. I'm sorry.
Yoda?
Yeah. Yoda was dope. Yoda was super dope. You know?
Creepy looking. But
he was dope. Jedi you are!
I feel like you practiced that a couple times.
Yeah.
He was in the mirror like, okay, I'm ready for this.
He's like,
Jedi!
Get it into character.
Do or do not.
Jedi warrior! Yo! That was good.
Voice actor and call this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's your Yoda.
He's the next Mark Hamill over here.
Wait, why was that good?
You've been practicing, like Ty said.
Wow.
That's okay though.
I get to use it for the show today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gotta go. The Empire's my number one. Honestly, I love all of these movies except for like the new Disney trilogy.
Yeah.
There are elements I liked. Like I love Poe Dameron. I have his whole comic run in trade paperback, you know, by Charles Soule. But I love it, man.
There's some interesting things they just didn't really define or explore too much, unfortunately.
Right. Well, that whole story was about how Lord San Tekka got the map to Skywalker, and they were originally going to locate him. Then he got captured. Then they got to locate him again. That was the whole arc for. I was like, yo, that's awesome. That was the Poe Dameron ongoing series. Okay. Yeah, that was dope.
Oh, I was talking about the OG saga, not the
OG saga is still right. There's still so many more stories to tell. Like we can all pitch our fan theories all we want. That just speaks to how great this franchise is. There is no other franchise that has come out with this amount of fan fiction.
And the fact that Lucasfilm and even Disney, that every couple of years they go back and they re-update the CGI, and then they put Hayden Christensen in the final movie as the Force Ghost. I mean, you guys are right. 100% classic. I do not disagree with you at all.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That is just it's what else could be said about this?
Ooh, they put me on today for controversy, guys. That's
no. I was gonna say I respect your number one pick, though. I respect that. I can't. Attack of the Clones at one point did have like a really special place in my heart. Maybe I have to go back and rewatch it to see if I can rekindle that. But I respect that pick.
I do. I respect it. I'm not gonna lie, but I know we don't do show and tell. Maybe we should do show and tell a little bit, but speaking of
nice
little movie variant.
Cover. Hell yeah.
Number one.
That's legit.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is for the Aaron one because I got this in a mystery box and I never opened it because I have the number one. Nice. We'll be right back. This is the Jason Aaron. Yep, this is the Jason Aaron. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is the first issue of Charles Soule's. Yeah, this is the first issue of Charles Soule's, which is really dope. But I love the movie variant. I love how when you open it up. I'm sorry, I just love when you open it up. Yo, ooh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Classic.
I know that's right. Good shit. Good shit.
It's going to be a drop ball if they do not put her in a future series, including Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Imagine her and Kira sharing the same stage.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was just imagining that. I was like, that would
Amelia
be Amelia
Clarke and Chloe Bennett. If they cast Chloe Bennett and Amelia Clarke,
I wouldn't be mad at Chloe Bennett, but I would hope they go with a more. That's almost too on the nose, you know. Like I want a more inspired choice, but she wouldn't be bad. I would be mad.
That.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if they chose her.
Right. Yes. Yeah. She does fit kind of perfectly. You know that she essentially was playing Aphra in S.H.I.E.L.D. To be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this is such a great episode. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. This is Whiplash Wednesday with the PTP Army Bad Batch. I should have mentioned that earlier in the video. However, I was way too excited to talk Star Wars Station. Make sure y'all check them out. We started with Nick Comic Culture, Chamorro Cinema. Manny's doing a review for us, so we're excited to see that. We got Nick doing his FOC and stuff in with Toys, Comics, Cadets, Toys, and Comics.
Yes.
Whoops. And then we have our show at 3, which is a semi-new time slot, so make sure y'all check that out. And then we got another Nick video, which has a little unboxing. I may go live sometime in the day to do a little new Comic Day haul. We got our boy Rockin' Robbie Billups doing a little IG live action comics karaoke, a name inspired by yours truly.
And go request a song and he'll sing it.
Yeah, request a song.
Reading comics.
I am still waiting for him to do public service announcement by Jay-Z. I'm just like, I'm waiting for him to do that. I just want to be like, yo, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove. H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by the OC. Okay. Yeah, anyway. And then we got, let's talk about it. Oh no, I wrote like a whole rap like this weekend. Like I got into like my songwriting and I actually wrote some pretty good bars.
I'll give him that, yeah.
Yeah. See?
Let's talk about a remastered.
Yeah, that with this guy, Stefan.
Well,
we got a boy.
Twitch as a special guest. Yeah. Go on, my bad. Do your thing.
We got Big Herm, who's the host of that. That's over on his channel. Links are in the description for everybody, even our boy Ty. You got Big Herm, we got Stefan Missing Link, we got Fable 1 Collection Down, and we got Twitch, who will also be on the show, which is going to be talking about video games.
Yes. You're on.
We're talking about video games. Which that's going to be a good show. Definitely hang out, close the curtains with us then. Whiplash Wednesday, man. You know how we do. And of course, follow Ty. He's doing a lot of cool reviews.
Yes.
Got Funko Pops, comics, figures. He does everything.
Video games. Got it all.
Thank you.
Yeah, my boy is like on top of
anime.
Yeah. And even within all that, keeps a beard. Really good looking.
Yeah, makes me jealous, I won't lie.
Right.
I had to get a haircut this time around. I was in dad bod mode.
You know what?
And how'd I go?
Leonardo DiCaprio has been in dad bod mode for like 20 years, and he's still living the best life. So go
That's
for it.
why the ladies love him.
Right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh my gosh! Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. Like, subscribe for more. What?
Whoa! We forgot the most important thing.
May the
Sith or Jedi?
Oh.
That is not the most important thing. The most important thing is TIE Fighter, X-Wing, or Y-Wing.
I would be a gray. I'm not gonna lie. I would be selfish.
I'm a Jedi.
No, I'm just kidding. I would be a Jedi.
I'm a Jedi who likes to fly in a Y-Wing.
What if you were
I was gonna say
what if you were a Jedi in public, but a Sith as a side job?
Then I would basically make Palpatine look like an idiot.
I would be a Sith. Growing up, I would be a Jedi, but I'd be a Sith.
Is that what all the retired cops say?
Darth Revan.
Have you seen too
Jedi,
much?
Sith, Jedi?
Yeah. Darth.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'll infiltrate the Sith. You know, I'll be playing the
Quinlan
role of
Vos did
Palpatine.
that, bruh. Quinlan Vos did that.
He's such a dope character.
Comics in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, may the force be with you guys. Happy Wednesday. Station.
No,
we off for stage?
I was doing a bit. I was doing a bit.
Okay.
Yeah!